And so this is it. We're just a few hours away now from the opening ceremony of the Paris Olympic Games. There are many things about this opening show that we don't know. It's the big surprise that Paris is going to be springing on the world. But there are some things that we do know. We know, for example, that these are going to be an opening ceremony like the world has never seen. Paris is doing things differently. It's taking a ceremony that is usually held in a stadium and it's putting it into the heart of Paris, essentially turning France's capital into a giant open-air stage. The athletes, thousands of athletes, there are 10,500 of them taking part in the Games, are going to be embarking on boats, and they'll be going down the River Seine on a long parade that will take them through some of Paris's iconic sites. Imagine the Eiffel Tower, for example, or the Louvre Museum. There'll be hundreds of thousands of spectators lining both sides of the river, and then the athletes will disembark and they'll take the oaths as athletes, and there will be speeches, and then of course fireworks, and that's how the ceremony is expected to end.
Pas trop parce que voilà, parce que sinon après je vais trop stack.
Now, it's a huge security challenge for the French authorities by taking it out of a stadium into a much more complex urban environment. There are tens of thousands of police officers that are going to be securing the show. We've got the airspace over Paris will be closed for the duration of the ceremony. And then, of course, there are the big surprises that we're all expecting. Who is going to be singing, for example? Who's going to be performing? The French press is already saying that Lady Gaga perhaps is on that list. Celine Dion has apparently flown in on a private jet. Might she be one of the stars of the show? And then, of course, the most tightly kept secret, which is who will be given the honor of lighting the cauldron. That's one of the signature moments of the Games. People are talking perhaps about Zinedine Zidane, or maybe survivors of terrorist attacks here in Paris in 2015. It was a moment of tragedy back then, and by perhaps using survivors of those attacks, it could be a very cathartic moment for Paris. Anyway, it's sure to be spectacular. The director of the show is an award-winning theatre director, Thomas Joly, and it's Paris's way of showing that these games, the Paris Games, they hope are going to be games that will leave an indelible mark both on the Olympics and on the Olympic audience.
Statue comme ça, imprégné d'une époque qui est la nôtre aujourd'hui.